Well, I said I was going to have more videos like this where I was just sitting and talking to you, and this is a perfect time to do that. And today is January 7th, 2021, and I'm very upset about the actions that took place yesterday at the nation's capital when a bunch of Donald Trump supporters put siege on the United States Congress. They went to the capital of the United States of America, overran the police officers there, ran over the barriers, got into the Capitol, and tried their best to stop the official counting of the Electoral College votes that would name Joseph Biden as the next president of the United States. The whole thing is terrible and it's ugly, and we as a nation are being laughed at again. The countries that really enjoyed it were China and Japan. And those companies that looked at it never said a word but said, "We're glad to see this happening," were Russia and our other enemies. Our allies were just taken aback by the things that would happen in this country, a nation that stood on the promise of democracy and freedom and a voice for the people, yet and still they didn't count on this to happen like this. And what makes it really bad is that our own president, the chief, the top executive officer, the commander in chief of our armed forces, incited that riot, incited those people to go to the Capitol and overtake it. And he was talking to the people at a rally before they went to the Capitol to stop the voting process, to have the Electoral College votes certified and announcing that Joe Biden would be the next president of the United States. He had a rally of his supporters. They'd been planning this for months to come to Washington, D.C. on the 6th and to stop this process so that he could stay in office. It's crazy, I know. It's something you would see in a movie. And it's like Olympus has fallen, okay? It's just crazy. But he did it. And then he told his people, this is what he said. He said, this is what the president said to his folks who were his supporters in the very morning before they went and marched to the Capitol. He said he was going to go there with them, but he said, if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. President Trump said, let the weak ones get out, he went on. This is a time for strength. And he was telling that to those supporters who were already riled up by the lies he told before. And then Rudy Giuliani spoke to the crowd as well, and he says, let's have a trial by combat. Those were the words that incited the people to march on the Capitol, overtake the Capitol Police, the Washington City Police, and those people that were protecting congressmen and senators. They overtook all of that, got into the Capitol, ramshackled the whole place, did a lot of damage. And unfortunately, there was a young lady who died by a gunshot wound by the Capitol Police who were protecting the United States congressmen and senators in there. And there were three other deaths. There were four people total that died, and the other ones were not caused by any physical violence, maybe heart attacks or something like that. I'm not sure. But the whole thing was that our president of the United States incited a riot. It was basically insurrection, sedition. He should not only be brought up on charges, he should be arrested and put into jail and lock him up, is the cry that people should have now. He should no longer be serving as president of these United States. We haven't seen anything like this since the time of the Civil War, when they did not agree with Abraham Lincoln being elected president of the United States, and that caused the South to separate from the North. We don't have that type of division anymore, but it's darn well close to it. And I'm telling you that this president, Donald J. Trump, has served 4 years too long. He has split this country in half. He's caused a great divide. He knows nothing about democracy. He knows nothing about the Constitution he swore to uphold and defend. And he is the one that is causing the enemies domestically to go ahead and attack our United States Congress. It's just deplorable. Hillary was right. And now we have to live and try and grow from this and make things better. President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, they're going to have a hard time moving on from this. We're overcoming, we've not overcome it yet, but the coronavirus caused a lot of challenges for us. And yet, and still, we as Americans, we generally fight and work together. This is the first time we've been so divisive And only one man did this, and that's Donald J. Trump. I can never, ever, ever think of anyone that can do something so damaging. And those Republicans that support him, those Republicans that call his name and say we object to this and object to that, they ought to leave right with him. He should resign, take the Nixon wave, and get on air. Well, it won't be Marine One when he gets on that helicopter. It'll be Marine Two because he no longer will be the president. Resign, get out of office, and leave. And take your buddy with you from Texas, Mr. Cruz, the senator. I can't believe that he did that. And I'm not going to talk about that senator from Missouri. I can't remember his name. But they all ought to go. Everyone who objected to that should be censured and not allowed to speak in Congress for the rest of their terms in office. And the people in their countries and their cities and their states should recall them. I'm just so angry I can't even talk because this is just so disgusting of a thing to happen. And that's my opinion. That's what it is. And this is a great way to start off 2021 with me talking about something as catastrophe as that. It's just bad news for everybody. All right, folks. Thanks a lot. If you like, subscribe and like. Okay? Like Kenia says, peace.